Hello, my gorgeous little pickles, my lovely darlings. Today I've got a little special person here who's feeling very festive because a lot of people are saying they don't feel like it's Christmas this year. So I'm fighting the Christmas corner, and here she is, Boo, in her special little outfit. She doesn't always have the hood up, but I just thought you might like to see her and for Boo to say hello. You love it, don't you, Bobby? She's nice and cozy. Anyway, she's here to join me for a little story massage session, and who knows, she might even have some. I'm going to put her next to me. She actually really does love this outfit. She waits for me to put it on her. Don't get me wrong, I'm not like one of those LA mums. Oh God, I hope I've not offended anybody in LA. I didn't mean it like that. But what I mean is, I don't go around carrying her in a little bag and dressing her up in horrific outfits. But because we live on Exmoor and it's really chilly and it's Christmas, here she is, little Bummy Moo. Keeps her warm. It's practical. So I wanted to speak to you today about story massage. And obviously with the rise of COVID, especially in the UK and especially where I live in the Southwest, it's making touch even more impossible. And me being Italian and me being a mum, I will always find a way. Plus, I've got 4 neurodiverse children, and a lot of you know about the journey I had with Ollie, my second son, who's autistic. And so for me, it's never been A to B. We've always had to climb through windows, tunnel under floors, scale roofs, sometimes almost literally. You can imagine that, can't you? But I've taken my sandwiches along and behaved, but all the same, I've had to find different ways of doing things. So story massage, how is it possible to share this if you're a therapist or if, you're working in a school with kids and touch is a vital part of what you offer. On a friends and family basis, you're absolutely fine, but I'm trying to look after everybody here. I don't know, I feel like I've turned into this gigantic maternal fairy godmother, and I'm just worrying that people aren't getting the touch, because most importantly of all, touch boosts immunity, so it really is a fabulous thing to enjoy. And I used to put my own massage into stories for years because I've done so much work with lots of kids with pathological demand avoidance, ADHD, attention deficit disorder, autism, and it may be difficult for them to just sit and have a massage session. Not that I would ever share time with anybody in such a formal way anyway. It's just not me. You can imagine that's not me. But, in a time where we really cannot have that direct touch unless it's within a family, I've had to find ways around it. And during the journey with my work, I happened to meet this wonderful, wonderful lady years ago called Mary Atkinson, who founded the Story Massage program with another amazing lady called Sandra Hooper. And I must admit, it really did help to shape and change the way I work. And it's just 10 simple massage strokes. And you'd have to go on Mary's course to learn that. She's got a book, Once Upon a Touch. And I'm going to be writing about this for Anna Kennedy later today. So if you go onto Anna Kennedy online, you can access this. But with the use of those 10 strokes, you could put it into so many stories, songs, things about the kids, how they're feeling, where they're at, games. You can make it all age relative. You know me, I never stick to anything. I always have to play with it, because I just think the more you play with things and the more childlike you are, even childish at times is quite good. You meet people where they're at. You're open to learning and finding how they want you to work with them. So you make it all about them, which particularly for a child is extremely special, because even neurotypical children don't have that much of a voice in their own lives. But if you're neurodiverse, everything is decided for you, and worst of all, people expect so little from you and the investment isn't there. So this is where we come in. So, can I just share with you something really quickly, and then I'm going to get on with it. Oh my God, because I didn't just miss everybody, and I missed that contact. So I've got verbal diarrhea today. I've got so much to share. But my rainbow children, you know, because I do something called Rainbow Kids, which I founded several years ago, where I work with groups of kids where I mix neurodiverse and neurotypical, because I feel they're kids. They're not all labels, and they've all got things to learn from each other and to help each other out with certain things and grow each other in other things. So it's learning about themselves, it's learning about each other, it's that teamwork. And my Rainbow Kids won the first ever award from Story Massage, from Mary Atkinson, for the best junior practice. And then of course I went on to become a centre of excellence with Mary, along with others. And I must admit, I don't frame any of my diplomas, any degree. None of that is framed in my therapy chalet. It's in a box if anyone wants to check I'm a proper person. But I never frame it because I don't want to look like a dental surgery, and also it's a bit cringy. But if there's anything to do with awards I win for the community or for children, they're on the wall. And it's lovely, and I'm really proud to have those certificates there. So thanks again, Mary and Sandra, because I really do treasure those, and so do the kids. So I'm going to get on with it now, because I've spent ages waffling on. You know, like I do, honestly. I feel like I'm just sat on a little room, little beanbag with you all, having a little chat, a cuppa, you know, sharing as you do. So how do we put story massage into things for ourselves? Well, I came up with a few ideas, and actually I've been going into academies lately where it's literally for weeks, even before COVID spiked, it was no hugging, no touch, strictly no touch policy. So I've been sharing story massage by getting the kids, first of all, to do massages that I'd written. But now, and these kids are amazing, they have Down syndrome, ADHD, autism, pathological demand avoidance, tics, Tourette's, often several of those things all together. And sometimes I have up to 10, 14 in a group. And it's really, to hold that space, is the way to do it is to empower those kids. So what I've been doing is, throughout autumn, it was what's your favourite things about autumn? Let's imagine a walk, let's imagine bonfire night, let's imagine firework night, and say our favourite things that we love about that, but also things we might be scared of. And we've put it into the touch, all together in a circle, so we're not touching each other, but we are self-administering those story massage strokes. So recently, last week, we did what we were looking forward to about Christmas. And because some of the places I work in, they're residential academies, a lot of them miss their families. So we did this lovely squeezy one. I also learned this one in my special yoga training. But it's just the squeeze, and you can do it on yourself. You can even do it on your shoulders, which is where we carry a lot of the pressure. So get the kids to make up stories. If they're not feeling very creative, take one of their favourite stories and just adapt it. Don't be scared to adapt it to all these different types of touch. You know, they were feeling very happy, so I'm drawing a big heart on my tummy. I need to lean back. Not a heart, a smile. They were feeling very happy at the thought of being home again. And we did the calm too. We did this lovely calming one because, you know, they'd missed their families. They've been feeling homesick. So being in the middle of their families was a huge thing to keep them calm, because, you know, there has been COVID in the academies where I've been. So not only have they had to isolate from me and from visitors, but they've had to isolate from each other. And bearing in mind, some of these kids are as young as 16. That's really, really hard. It's really, really hard. So the touch is fantastic because it stimulates that daily dose, the dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. If you can do this daily, you're going to massively boost that to help your mental health. I go into more detail in the article I've written for Anna Kennedy online. So if you want to know more about the neuroscience behind it, feel free to, you know, go on there, or if you can't sleep and fancy a bit more of me waffling on, you're very welcome. So we put it into stories. You know, they were looking forward to all the glitter and the tinsel and the shiny sparkly lights. They were looking forward to opening presents. Obviously this one and this plucking one you wouldn't do on your head if you had epilepsy. But some kids don't like being touched on their heads. And the lovely thing about story massage is that those kids are in control of it and they can do it where they feel happy. You can do it on your legs. I've had them doing it on their legs, on the soles of their feet, because a lot of people like having their feet touched, you know, down their arms. So, you know, there are no contraindications other than if you have epilepsy, don't do anything strenuous on your head, you know. So there are so many things, you know. Do your hearts feel big? A lot of my learners were saying to me last week their hearts feel so huge with excitement, and if they didn't want to do that circular motion on their hearts, they could do it on their tummies, because some of them were looking forward to great big Christmas dinners. So do you see how easy it is to adapt it? Just a few simple strokes and you can adapt those. You know, I've got learners who are non-verbal but adore music. So I'll take a favourite song that they're into at the time and we'll put the song on and they'll mirror me, or they'll come up with their own ideas, or we'll just do it together how we want to, using those massage strokes. So they're really, really easy. Another one we've loved doing is going upwards like a big fountain, or downwards. We'll go downwards too, because that's a really good one. So opening presents, you know, jumping out of bed in the morning and feeling so excited because you can see all the presents underneath the tree. So it's just touch. It's simple touch that the kids can self-administer. And not only is it fun, but it teaches them to be self-aware. When they feel that stress or tension building, they've then got the tools to use to self-regulate and eventually self-manage. So even if you're a therapist doing Zoom sessions, you can do this, you can share this, you can get them to mirror you or come up with their own ideas in how to use those strokes. The other thing I've done is put it into games. So I always recycle if people send me little gifts. I've said this to you before. I'm such a sentimental, funny little thing. I can't part with the boxes. I'm not a hoarder because it's recycling. I put them to good use. So this one is story massage metaphors all about me. So it might be things like in here, I know one of them is, if you were a colour today, what colour would you be? Well, I'm excitable because it's Christmas, so I'd be yellow, which to me is just about joy. It's about excitement. It's about, you know, ultimate happiness. It's about, I'm going to do a big smile on my tummy. It's about, I really do feel like my entire heart is smiling. So I'd be yellow, like the sun, because it is my favourite colour. You know, there's also things like, if you were an animal, what would you be? Well, if you were feeling a bit grumpy, you might feel like being a bear. I'm just going to put my leg up in the air a sec, because you could do it down your leg too. So you could do it on your own leg. You could do it on your tummies. Normally, if I was doing a group session where you'd be allowed to touch each other, we'd do it down each other's backs with just the finger pads, not the nails. And you know it's gorgeous. You can use it if it's a miserable day and it's raining, and you can go down your body. You can go up your body if it's fireworks. So, you know, firework night or New Year's Eve when people let off fireworks. So put it into all sorts of ideas, you know. If let me just take one out at random. God, I think this is going to be a long video. I'm really sorry. They're always really massive. I need a documentary. I don't think anybody would take the risk. Okay, if I was a tree, I'd be an oak tree. They are my favourite tree. Being part Italian, my favourite trees in Italy are pencil pines. I love those. They're stunning. But if it was the English side of me, it would be an oak tree, because I do have favourite places where I go. And when I sit and rest my back against an oak tree, seriously, don't laugh, I feel such strength. And to me, it's always felt like the tree of home. So it's like the centre of me. If I was in a forest, I'd find a big old oak tree, and that would be very grounding for me. Let's do another one. So this is all about discussing mental health too. You know, where is your child at? Because if a child doesn't want to sit and talk about it, if you put things into games, you'll very quickly get to how they're feeling. You know, it really, really is good. If I was a character from a fairy tale or story, I'd be blank because blank. Okay. I would be the fairy godmother from Cinderella because I like to think I've got quite a big heart, even though I'm only little. I'd like to think I've got quite a big heart, and I'd like to think that I can help to make people smile. Usually I make them laugh when I don't mean to. No idea why that happens, but I do. I was in my local town the other day, and this lady who I didn't even know came up to me and she said, "Oh my gosh, I recognise you from your YouTube videos." I thought, oh gosh, really? Okay, I don't know how to handle what she's going to say next. And she said, "You just crack me up, but what you say teaches me so much, and I use it with my kids." But she said, "My God, you just crack me up." And she was laughing her head off in the street. It was a really bizarre experience. But I'm just glad I make people feel happy. So anyway, that's that game. I've got a couple of others that I'm just going to really quickly share with you. What's this one? Oh, Lucky Dip. Lucky Dip. So what I did was I took thousands of lollipop sticks. You can either recycle ones that you've had lollies from. Just make sure you wash them because of germs and getting sticky fingers. But I bought these for about, I don't know, £1 off of Amazon, something ridiculous like that. And they're multicoloured, so it makes it more fun. And I added all these little sparkly bits to make it more exciting for the children. And I don't know why I did that, because every single time I have a Rainbow Kids session, it's like 10,000 bombs have gone off in the chalet. But I think if there's no mess, the kids have been bored, and it's been a very straight-laced session. It's not how I work. And what I've done on here, I've not only written the story massage program strokes, but I've written other things like how I feel when I help someone. Laughter. What does laughter feel like? Well, it's all giggly, isn't it? It's like having loads of champagne bubbles going up and down you, or Coca-Cola bottles if you're underage. Bubbles, I mean, not bottles. That would hurt. What else have I got? A storm. Oh, what would a storm feel like? Well, it might feel really, really rough or windy. It could feel really, really windy. You could do that lovely bear walk, the thunder coming, you know. So you could put it into all sorts of things. You know, I've got here a wizard. So a wizard, well, a wizard is full of magic. You know, so you could make a great big Lucky Dip, but what you could also do is if you've got a few kids, is get them to put it into a story. So, you know, there was a wizard, and then, let's have a look, I'm doing this really randomly. Why I put myself on the spot like this, I've got no idea. Oh, a cloud, but it doesn't need to be an ordinary cloud. It could be a magical cloud. So wherever the wizard went, there was a magical cloud. And draw a cloud. Draw a cloud. You know, there was this magnificent, magical, colourful cloud that followed him everywhere. His magic could be seen for miles. What have I got next? I've had that one already. I need to dig deeper. And then I've got a rocket. So it could be that the wizard was so happy that all his spells had worked to make people happy that he sent rockets up into the air. So you could do this lovely fan motion up like this. So get the kids to put it into stories and combine the touch. Have laughter with it. You know, you could even make a train of kids where they all sit behind each other. And this is when you can touch. And they can actually draw this on each other's backs, you know, once we're allowed to touch again. I make little massage trains, and we pass the Lucky Dip box around, and we all do that on each other's backs. The other thing you can do, and this is really beautiful, I've got a box, and again I've put all these ridiculous things that take hours to hoover, and actually, poor old Henry, I have to get the scissors on it because they wrap around the fuzzy fluffy bits, you know, like the little car washy bits that whiz around. Not good. But I like magic, and anything is worth a bit of magic. So I've got things in here like a boat, a star, a car, a cake, a foot. This is all a bit random, isn't it? A candle, a cuddle, scissors, a boat. And what you do is you can either draw it on yourselves while we can't touch and the other person can guess, or what's absolutely delicious, and which I do in a lot of the sessions that I went into before it was, you know, you weren't allowed to touch, you can get the kids to all mix around and work in different pairs, and they can draw. One draws a picture of what they've picked from the lucky dip box, the back doodle magic dip box. I think I said that right. And the other person has to guess. And if you're a bit cheeky like me, you pretend you've no idea what it is so that they can keep on doing it, because it feels utterly delicious. So have fun with it, my darlings. You know, everything I share with you, I really hope I make it accessible. That's really important to me. And, you know, I've worked with kids who are touch averse, but when I put touch into games and get them to mirror me, it's amazing, because it puts them in charge of it. They realise you're meeting them where they are at. You're not forcing them to do everything. It's all an invitation, and honestly, they end up loving it. So, you know, and that touch is important. You know, the main one, oxytocin, the hormone of love and nurture, boosts immunity, actually helps to stimulate emotional intelligence. They used to say that that was released just 40 seconds after you touched somebody. And they're now, latest studies, because I'm always trying to stay on top of it, because I'm a bit of a secret nerd. Actually, it's not, I'm not even that much of a secret nerd, I'm a bit of an open one. They're now saying it's within 20 seconds. And the feeling oxytocin gives somebody, to put it in a nutshell, is that feeling babies have when they're being held and when they're breastfeeding. So it's that absolute love, safe touch and nurture. And a lot of the kids that I work with have never known that. So it's a beautiful thing to bring to them. So all stay safe. It'll be my last video before Christmas next week, and then you'll all get a little break from me. Hooray! You could do a little story massage about that. We're free. We're free from that completely nutty woman who drives us all insane. But her heart's in the right place. Anyway, on that note, have a gorgeous week, everybody. Christmas is hard for people this year. We're up again. I'm up against it. People are. But, you know, the most important thing is to be kind, to be there for each other, and to not give up. Because however terrible you're feeling, we are all in this together. And I'm going to keep making these slightly crazy, but hopefully helpful videos. And hopefully bring a smile to faces. So lots of love, everybody. Tune into Anna Kennedy online if you want to know a little bit more about this, with ideas for games and different ways you can use it, and a link to Mary's online Once Upon a Touch, the story massage program, and a book, because I like to sing other people's praises. What is this with people who are all guarded about what they do and they don't want to share it? And, you know, no, darlings, we need to be there for each other. It's as simple as that. And I'm happy to share. I think you'll be happy about that. I hope so. God, I've got the giggles this morning. I'm so sorry. It's all this isolation. It's sending me insane. And I'm covered in little Henry Hoovery bits to do later. Anyway, it's been worth it because I've had a nice little chat with you. So take care, everybody. And I shall see you next week. And stay strong. And, you know, it's those random acts of kindness, isn't it? Those random acts of kindness can make all the difference to somebody, even if it's just that you make time to listen to them or tell them a funny story with a bit of touch. So look after each other, look after yourselves, have a good week, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Oh, by the way, if you think what I do is okay, do the little thumb thing, and I will be full of oxytocin. And if you think of anybody who you think my videos will help, or who suffers with chronic insomnia, you are very welcome to pass on my YouTube channel. I always say this, I don't make anything from it, and I hate this bit where you say subscribe and like. It just feels a bit robotic and a bit weird, and it's not really why I do it, but I do genuinely want to reach as many people as I can for free, and use time where I can't work to still bring my message and still bring that help. So if you think I'm any good, I would appreciate it if you shared it. And yes, you're all just lovely. Lots of love, my darlings. Take care. Bye-bye.